What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back to you with another video, and today, this is a very highly requested video, the Bengals 7-round mock draft. So, I just got a comment like an hour ago asking for this, and I was just planning on dropping some picks today, but hey, I mean, if you guys wanted it that badly, you know what? Tomorrow might be filled with an interview slot with Trey Morrison, starting safety of UNC. Don't have that confirmed yet. We haven't had too good of contact, but he has agreed to it, and we agreed on tomorrow. But keep your hopes up for that. But let's go into this mock. You guys aren't here to hear blabber about the whole entire channel. You're here to hear blabber about, of course, the Bengals. So let's kick it off. I think this is an obvious one. First pick. I mean, Joe got destroyed because of the fact that your offensive line's Garbo. So let's get the best tackle that we've seen in, let's just say, the past 10 years in Penei Sewell. He's generational talent. You don't really pass up on a dude like that. Very, very talented guy, and I like him a lot. I think that this is just probably the easiest pick the entire draft, if we're going to be honest. And I don't think that there's anybody. I mean, you could say you want to get Jamar Chase to replace like AJ Green, even though you have AJ Green 2.0. But I think that Auden Tate is able to fill those shoes well enough to where you don't need to spend your number 3 overall pick on it. So obviously, we got a phone call coming in. We're gonna be turning that off, that sound. But Falcons can kiss our ass. We are not gonna be doing any trades or anything like that. A little too much RNG. If you guys are OGs, you obviously know that. And if you guys are OGs, you already know what I'm gonna go here. Like, the tackle spot is not the only problem on the line. I love the idea of getting my second favorite guard in the class, Trey Smith. Obviously, I think one of the most underrated guys in the class is Trey Smith. You're talking about like Elijah Vera Tucker as one of the best, yet they're the same age. And Elijah Vera Tucker just showed that he was pretty damn weak at left tackle. He's been playing really well, but my former high school player, he went to Oaks Christian where I went to, Kayvon Thibodeau, he just went off on him, showing that like true good pass rushers, they can show a big weakness in them. And to be fair, on a team like the Bengals, where you have a guy like Joe Mixon, who you just paid a 4-year, $48 million contract to, that's kind of a huge need. Like, to be able to run block and do all that shit, you already know what that's all about. Now, this spot, safety, don't even need it. You have one of the better safety cores in the NFL. I like Von Bell, to be honest. Then, I mean, do we have to even talk about Jesse Bates, one of the best, if not the best safety in the entire league? That's awesome. But let's look at to see if maybe we can snag a corner here, because you guys have 2 corners left on contract after this year. We're gonna be sneaking for an Elijah Molden in the next round, if we're gonna be honest, guys, and then maybe a Roger McCreary down the line. But yeah, we're not gonna be going for Israel Mukuamu. He's gonna probably transition. He could be a corner, but due to his hip stiffness, probably fitting better as a safety. So we're going to be ditching off that train. Let's look for maybe some more linemen. I mean, like, honestly, we couldn't go wrong with having extra linemen in the squad. Could we go some extra edge presence here? I mean, if Patrick Jones were still on the board, we'd go that way. This is a spot, I mean, oh my god, how's Patrick Jones is so underrated by TDN, it makes me want to puke. Let's just see if they actually think this way. They have a TDN player rankings board, which is complete BS. I don't even know why the hell they do it. But where's Patrick Jones? I want to see this. I want them to say with a straight face that Patrick Jones is, yeah, he's number 60 overall in their rankings. I don't get that. We're going to be going Patrick Jones here, an absolute monster. I always have him going at the top of the third. He deserves it. He's so good. Patrick Jones is a dynamic edge rusher. You can save a lot of money by not re-signing Lawson next year. Honestly, it's a win-win. I love it. You know, you can get a true monster in those trenches. I mean, honestly, if Joe Tryon falls, you can even add him to the group as more of like a dynamic player, more of like a high ceiling, low floor type of dude. But we're not going to do that. Man, why is Javon Holland falling? Okay, guys, he's not going to, but if he falls to our pick, we can pick him and then he can stick a slot corner. That's going to be like that's the game plan. If he doesn't fall. Okay, thank God. Because if that were the case, 10 out of 10, I would stick him in the slot. And because that's where he plays actually most of his snaps, surprisingly. They say he's a safety. He played strong safety as well as slot corner. So now we can look at more of this cornerback role, all right? Let's see who's here. Elijah Molden. To me, if you guys want to see, test run was just because I had to go through. I'm actually rebuilding my whole entire board on test run. But Elijah Molden's my 43rd player in the entire class, all right? So straight up, you're getting the 43rd best player at 104. Elijah Molden is a stud. He's going to be able to replace that Mackenzie Alexander role very well. I mean, he has like a 90 PFF grade in every single one of his games in coverage, or as an overall coverage grade, a 90 plus, and he's going against some very high talented players. And I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. It's one of those days where it's like too dark to be like without the computer light, but it's like too bright to put on the lights because you look like a complete idiot. It's one of those days. You all know what those days are like, but. We'll see like where our next pick is. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we do have a pick coming up at 143. Because of course I've gotten so used to now my new mock drafts. If you guys haven't seen it, go check those out. Where pretty much I've been trading back, so I have no idea whose pick is whose. This is where we can look at. I mean, if we want to get a guy like Rashad Weaver, we could. We don't need a receiving back. We could go for a power back as well. If you guys want to know where I get my information from, it is sporttrack.com. They have all the contracts, everything. So if you guys are wondering, like, wow, this guy knows like all this stuff, like realistically, SportTrack covers my ass. And I like doing these for you guys because obviously it allows me to learn your team actually very well. So of course, safety is not a need at all. Again, if you want Von Bell to be out of there, that's a different question. We could get Caden Stearns in there. We could get a third tight end because Drew Sample, he's a true tight end too. And again, I think. What's his name? Uzama has one more year left on his contract. You paid him big money. I don't know why. I mean, he's not that good in my opinion. However, Kenny Yeboah to me has that wide receiver, that tight end 1 potential. I really like him. I mean, if you want to go Justin Ross, that's a little too cheesy. We're going to be honest, guys. Do we want to go after, a Ronnie Bell wouldn't be horrible. But again, I think that if you guys want some good value, you don't need a slot. So these are 2 of my favorite guys in the class, of course, Daz Newsome and Jalen Darden. If we want to be going after someone who's a lot larger, where is this dude? Where are they disrespecting my man De'Ami Brown? Right here. So we're gonna wait off on that because he's just a stud. There's no reason for us to have to do that. I know you guys might not like this, but Kenny Yeboah is gonna be the pick. I'm a guy who watches a shit ton of Ole Miss games because my high school quarterback Matt Corral is their starting quarterback. So I watched Kenny Yeboah 24/7, and he is on another level. He is so good. He probably his floor is tight end 2, maybe tight end 3. I kind of compare him to more of like a Mo Alley Cox in the fact that he probably will disappear. He has the athleticism, he has the hands, but like you could just see it when he plays that he has that potential, and I think that's going to be very key in this game, especially with a team like the Bengals where Joe. The fact is his line ain't fully polished yet. He now has arguably the best guard because Wyatt Davis, he hasn't been playing the best apparently. I'm getting this. I haven't watched enough Ohio State because Ohio State's been playing either garbage teams or else not been playing at all. But he's been sliding down the rankings, which is kind of weird, especially for a guy who I had as like my number 8 dude in the entire country. But it's okay. Regardless, guys, we could talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about this pick right now. We could be still looking for a wide receiver here. Let's see who's been falling. We got Ronnie Perkins here. I don't like him. If I'm not mistaken, is he 250 or is this the guy who's 230? No, he's 250, so that's okay. Was it Coons who was 230? No. I'm sorry. There was a guy yesterday who I was like who I was picking, and I was like, eh. But that's a great value. Honestly, we're getting Roger McCreary here. We got our slot corner. Now we can get our boundary as well. Because again, only 2 corners on contract after this year. And he's going to be able to replace that William Jackson role because William Jackson is going to be probably trying to get around $16 million a year. He ain't worth that. He ain't worth that. Roger McCreary can fill his shoes perfectly fine. Roger McCreary is one of my favorite guys in the class. I have him as a top 100 guy, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe top 120. And you know what? If you get him at this value, that is just, it's beautiful. If Hufanga, oh my god. Speaking of another one of my draft crushes, Hufanga, I watched him last night in the Pac-12 championship. He's just everywhere. He does a very good job of being a very high floor player. I really like him. I don't know why there's just so much hate towards a lot of these players who show out during college. Like, I know maybe it doesn't always translate over, but man, like, it's like, piss off. Like, they're actually doing a really good job. And now this is where we're going to be going more for, like, the wide receiver route. I know we could be going, I don't know if we have another 7th round, but there's a guy, I am in love with De'Ami Brown. He's a stable wide receiver, good hands, everything. So we're gonna be seeing how he fits into this offense because we could be going for a speed burner like Marquez Stevenson here. All right, so there's a multitude of routes that we can go.
So we're losing John Ross. We don't really have a true speed burner because we got Boyd. He's really good. We have Higgins, who is literally AJ Green 2.0. We have Auden Tate, who again I don't really think he deserves the starting role. He's solid, but again not really huge into that. We don't really have any speed on this roster. Again, tell me if I'm wrong, and I mean obviously I'll be perfectly fine with that. I mean, both of these dudes are just pure slot weapons. Ain't no reason for it. TJ Vasher, honestly, he's much more that bigger type of wide receiver. Somebody that we don't need. I just watched some TJ Vasher earlier today, so I got to see him live. That was pretty awesome. Now, Austin Watkins, again, I'm not a huge fan. I'm pretty sure he's a larger wide receiver as well at 6'3". So we're going to be honestly reaching for Marquez Stevenson. I watched him first ever college game. I watched in person, SMU versus Houston. I got to see Derek King live. Awesome, like my favorite experience ever. Hence why I chose actually SMU because I just love that football game. It was a really great environment. But Marquez Stevenson is a true speed burner. He's going to be able to replace John Ross. Maybe not with the 4.22 speed. Let's not go that far. But he's going to be able to add some extra speed to this team that maybe then you could put Auden Tate on the outside and then you can have Stevenson fill in that role for a 7th round pick versus obviously a top 10 pick, I believe, in we're getting an offer. Wait, we have another? I think that we have another pick. But obviously in like the top 10 pick of John Ross. So I mean, man, Hufanga, dude. Some of these, dude, let me know if you guys feel this way as well. There's some dudes who are super disrespected by TDN, and it is disgusting. Honestly, I can see the Steelers taking a Jalen Darden, like at this spot, just because of the fact that it's just kind of disgusting how much he's just disrespected. It's so bad. We could be going to linebacker here. Honestly, I know that we have Tyler Boyd, but should we not just go Jalen Darden here? To me, if you guys want to see it, let's see who's test run is pretty much my top 150 players. Jalen Darden, I mean, I have him as a top 80, top 90 player. Like, there's a reason. De'Ami Brown, again, we could go after him or not. I know that, man. It's like Tyler Boyd is the best slot wide receiver in the country, but is there the chance that we could just use him elsewhere? He has so much burst. He could be a true gadget weapon. Honestly, guys, you guys may sue me for this, but Jalen Darden became my draft crush after one of you guys pointed him out to me. I mean, I love his burst. He goes 0 to 100 so fast, and in a game where Joe fits that ball perfectly in, that's going to be great. He makes really good separation in short routes. So I'm going to be doing it. Sue me if you guys want me to, if you guys don't like that, but man, I think he can be a true slot weapon, and I think that's going to be amazing. Just allowing him to learn from Tyler Boyd as well, because Tyler Boyd I think they can play anywhere. But checking over the draft, Penei Sewell, Trey Smith, I mean, you get the 2 best linemen arguably in the class. Like, you can make a case for Trey Smith being the 2nd best lineman in the class. So, I mean, you're fixing up a big issue right there with Bobby Hart leaving next year, also playing like ass, as well as the guard situation has been absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. You get one of the better pass rushers in the class, Patrick Jones. My favorite slot corner in the class, arguably. I mean, it's with Sean Wade there. And Elijah Molden, Kenny Yeboah going to stick in perfectly fine. Roger McCreary, I mean, you fixed up your corner core here. You fixed up your wide receiver core here. You get some depth as well. Jalen Darden could be a really good depth weapon. And, I mean, man, you fix up all your holes with some great value. I love this draft. You guys might not. I don't really care. Let me know why you don't in the first place. But I'm standing by this draft. I love this draft. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.